Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm bringing you my May TBR. So this month in May, there are not one, but two Star Wars themed readathons going on this month. There is the May the TBR Be With You readathon run by the Becca Phil. And there is the May the Force Read With You readathon run by Eric over at Breakeven Books. I will tag both of them below. Now, the way I'm going to do my TBR, the way I have done my TBR, because I've done pretty much everything bar like these intersections that you're going to see of me sitting here. The way I've done this is I've done all of my stuff for Becca's readathon, and I will retroactively fill in Eric's readathon because his is a lot more complex in that you should see the work that him and Marcus, and mainly Marcus, I don't think Eric will mind me saying that because he did say Marcus has put most of the work into it. The work that's gone into it, I'm going to have to think more about it, whereas Becca's is Becca's TBR game, and because Becca plays her TBR game monthly or bi-monthly, I can't actually remember now, because I see Becca's TBR game more, I understand it more, so I can do that, and then I'll go back and be able to like do the other one retrospectively. This is how I've been doing it. If I've got more than one readathon in a month, I will work one of them out to do my TBR and then retrospectively fill in the prompts for the other one. So that's what I've done this month. So I've used Becca's to decide on my TBR, and then I will retrospectively go back and fill in the prompts for the May the Force Read With You readathon. That's how it's going to work. So what that means is I've used Becca's board, which I do have over there. Just a second. Here we go. Excuse her, she's a little bit holy for me playing the game. I had it on a pin board, you'll see in a second. So this is the board that is so shiny. This is the board that Becca uses, like a miniature version of the board that Becca uses. And basically what you have to do for this readathon is you roll a dice, a d10, to decide which planet you start on. And then you decide, so each of them are numbered 1 to 9. And then, so I, for example, started on planet 4. And then you decide how many planets you want to try and visit, and then you roll that d10 again to get the numbers for the planets in order that you have to try and visit them. So say you start on planet 4 and then you roll a 5, a 9, a 2, and then a 3. So you start there and then you have to try and go to this planet, then this planet, then this planet, then this planet, in that order. Becca's video does it more justice. I'll link that in the thing. And then you decide how many rolls you're going to take, and if you can't do it in that many rolls, you have to pick a lightsaber or a punishment. I think we all know I got a punishment before we even look at this. Anyway, so that is how you play the game, and you will get to see me playing the game as I go through my TBR and how I picked it. So for this month, I decided I wanted to try and read at least 10 books. So I am generally a mid-reader, and I've been reading on average 13 to 15 books per month, and so I wanted to give myself a little bit of scope if I needed to add books onto my TBR. So 10 was a good number for me. If I wasn't quite sure how the punishments would work if I would need to add books, so a 10 was a good number. I thought if I have 10 and I need to add more, that gives me a little bit of leeway. If I want to mood read, it gives me a little bit of leeway, that sort of thing. He was just so cute. He's in a chair next to me, and he's just the cutest thing if you heard him stretching there. So I picked 10 planets and rolled to get to those planets. But Rolling Andy will have explained all of that to you. But past me is an angel and decided to do my jar pick, so I'll go to past Andy to show you what I got from my TBR jar. Hello, it is Andy from the past, popping in to help future Andy for once and not be a total menace by doing the jar pick for May the TBR Read With You, because I'm going to have to wedge this into my prompt somehow, and I'm only just planning my TBR right now, and I've done my rolls. Like, I've done the rolls. I know what planets I need to go to. And before I do any of that, I I should really pick my jar pick so that I can try and wedge this into my TBR instead of adding it on top of my TBR. So past me is trying to be nice to future me because current me feels like crap and I don't want to make it worse for future me. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's time to do the jar pick. I just realised I didn't have the options open on my computer to see whose book was against, which book was against whose name. That's handy. See how past me doesn't always help future me. Okay, here we go. There's not many, well there are, there's still like, I don't know how many options left in this. So, who are we getting this month? Who are we getting this month? There's still Fragile Threads in there. What am I going for? Okay. This one. This one. Who is it? Who is it? Why does this always make me feel sick? It's only a book. It doesn't really matter. Tori! It's Tori! Now, Tori doesn't... I don't have a specific book for Tori, technically. It's just whatever the next Maria Snyder book is that I'm reading, which fits in so well because Tori and I, if you didn't already know, are running a Maria V. Snyder Ixia, Chronicles of Ixia read along, and so we are reading a Chronicles of Ixia book every month, and so for me that will be Magic Study? Magic Study, yes, I was right. I was correct. As one of the hosts, I was correct on that one. That was a close one, Andy. That was a close one. So, excellent. I need to get that on my TBR anyway, so that is 2 birds, 1 stone. Thank you, gods. Thank you, reading gods. I'm not entirely sure which. I mean, we're going Greek pantheon, let's face it. Whichever one of you it was, thank you. I appreciate that deeply. Deeply, deeply. Would you like me to put an author on the buyer for you? Because I can think of one that I can use. Anyway, yes, I will be reading Magic Study for Tori's pick. And that works in so well because that's now not 2 books I need to get on my TBR, but that is 1 book that I need to get on my TBR. That is excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jem, you can breathe a little bit easier this month again. I forgot to add to that because apparently my brain, like I said, I don't feel very well. My brain is not working very well. I was just inputting it into my spreadsheet, and I remembered that I don't just have a book to read, I do also have a prompt to fill, and this is the prompt I didn't want to fill. So this is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. So we will just put in Magic Study into this, and Tori's prompt is to read the oldest book on your TBR. The oldest book. Now, I can't remember if she meant that in the spirit of the oldest book, like the one that's been on my TBR for the longest, or she meant the oldest book, like, classic-wise. Like, I have a book on there that was written by Apollodorus back in the times of ancient Greece. So I don't know if that's what she meant, so I'm going to have to go and ask her. But you will find out at the point where I am actually telling you the books on my TBR. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you about the prompt while I remembered. So yeah, I also have to add a book that is the oldest book on my TBR. So thanks, Tori. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Past Andy, because yes, that would have been an absolute pain in the arse to try and do. And this video comes to you in 4 parts. Anyway, so yeah, that would have been a pain. So thank you, Past Me, for actually thinking of me for once in your life. Edit Andy, however, is not going to be a fan of cobbling all this together. What we're going to do then is I will first show you, just out of sheer interest, just for funsies, I will show you the screen recording of my rolls to decide my order that I was going to go for. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why I screen recorded that. Just out of interest to show you that I wasn't cheating in some way. Not that I think you care. My radiators get involved in the conversation apparently. So I'll show you that because I've recorded it and saved it, so now you have to watch it, with me, and then I will just skip straight to rolling Andy and let her take it away, and then you pop back to me to find out which books I've used for each prompt. So this roll is for my starting planet, and that is number 4. So I'll be starting on Lothal. Roll number 1 is 2, and that is Coruscant. Roll number 2 is 7, and that is Naboo. Roll number 3 is 10, and there is no 10, so we're going to treat that as a 0 and roll again. So roll number 3 is 4, so that is Lothal. Roll number 4 is 4 again, so we need to re-roll. So roll number 4 will be, oh my goodness, why is it doing this? Roll number 4, 3, Mandalore. Roll number 5 is 1, which is Exegol. Roll number 6 is, nope. Roll number 6 is 7, which is Naboo again. Roll number 7 is 5, and that is Scarif. Roll number 8 is 3, which is Mandalore. Roll number 9 is 2, which is Coruscant. I can't see them. Coruscant. And 10 again. So last roll, roll number 10 is 5, which is Scarif. So this is what I've rigged up for my rolls. It looks janky as hell. Please forgive it. So this is from when I chose my, like I did my rolls to choose my planet. So this is just my sort of guide. I've got my starting planet of Lothal, and I'm just using a little push pin because this is a tiny A4. I'm gonna lose something if I try to do that. So I've got I had to test my markers. All my markers are basically dead except my pink and my purple, so please excuse this. Yeah, so these are all the planets I need to go to in this order. So roll 1 to 10, these are the planets I need to go to. Got my board here. This is how I'm going to be rolling dice because I don't have dice. And yeah. I'm going to try and remember to count my rolls in here. I'm going to give myself 25 rolls. I was going to do 20 because Becca usually does 10 to get to 5 planets. I'm going to 10 planets, so I was going to double it. But I'm really nervous I'm going to not get to them all, so I'm going to do 25. Tori did struggle with 25. Should I just do 20? Do you know what? I'm going to do 20. And if I'm really struggling, I might stretch to 25. I'm so sorry this light is just reflecting off. Give me a sec. Okay, how is that? That's better. I can't, unfortunately, move the other light. I've got all the lights on to try and get the light in. Okay, so you can see this board. But yeah, the light, unfortunately, is reflecting off of here. But yeah, so this is the setup. If you don't like it, tough. Yeah, so I'll do 20 rolls. I'll do 20 rolls. If I'm really struggling, I'll maybe do 25. I do have a punishment in place. My lightsabers is going to be my Kindle books. So I have 60 odd books on my Kindle that I've been ignoring. So if I do not manage to get to all the planets, I will have to pick a random number generator and do my Kindle books. Read a Kindle book. As always, the doubles will be a jump straight to the planet, so maybe I can do it in 20. We'll try and do it in 20. Be brave, Andy. Be brave. So we have to go. First, we're starting here at planet 4, Lothal, and then we need to go to Coruscant, which is here, and then we need to go to Naboo, which is here, and then we need to go back to Lothal, which is here, and then we need to go to Mandalore, which is here, and then we need to go to Exegol, which is here, and then to Naboo, which is here, and then to Scarif, which is here, and then to Mandalore, which is here, and then to Coruscant, and then to Scarif as our last planet. I think I did all of them. Whew. I might grab a marker and mark them off as I go. Let's just try and make sure I get them all. Okay, so roll 1. Let's go. 6 and a 5, which gives us 11. So This is really difficult, it's so small. Next roll, mark that roll as roll 1, is 9. We're trying to go curse scan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to hold that there. And then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've made it there in 3 rolls. 2, 3. Mark that off. Okay. First planet, Coruscant. Fantastic. Very first, easy, first planet we got to Coruscant. I still don't think I'm saying that right. And for that I chose the prompt Senator Palpatine, a book with politics, and for that I chose When We Left Cuba by Chanel Clayton. This is the second in the Cuba saga. I've been thinking about reading this for so long. This has been on my top wanting to read for so long. I've got the whole series ready to go and I've just not picked it up. So this is the kick out the butt that I need to read this book. This follows the great aunt of the main character from the first book. So the Cuba saga is about this family they are Cuban, living in Cuba, and they are living in Cuba at the time when Castro comes into power, and it's sort of not a safe place to be, and they end up having to flee to America. And this follows Beatrice, who, like I said, is the great aunt of the main character from the first one, and this kind of goes back in time to her as a young woman in her early 20s, where she gets involved with the CIA and she wants to go back to Cuba and kill Castro. Now, if that is not a book with politics, I don't know what it is. She's involved with the Cuban government, with the CIA and the US government. And then there's a little bit of romance and things like that in here as well, because the man that she loves is also involved in this somehow. So yeah, I'm so excited. Beatrice was a fantastic character in the first one. She is that aunt, the rich, single aunt who just, she's that aunt, but she has this sort of dark past that she doesn't talk about, and this is the past, so yeah. But basically it's like that Doctor Who episode, Let's Kill Hitler, but Castro. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Next we need to make our way down to Naboo. Oh, don't do that. Next roll is 11. Oh, that's moved a little bit. Where's the best way to go? What do you think? We'll go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then roll again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that took 5 to get to there. So that is roll 5. And we've made it to Naboo. Again, very easy to get to Naboo for roll number 2. And for that, I've chosen Padme, a book by a female author. And this was the easiest one for me to shoehorn, the first of my jar picks. And for that, you will have seen that I picked Tori. And for that, it will be Magic Study, Marie V. Snyder, female author, obviously. We need to get this in for the read-along, so yeah, very easy just to get that into that space. Make sure I've got it on my TBR and I'm not adding any extras that I don't need to be adding as an extra. This is the second book in the Chronicles of Ixia, and so we just follow Yelena as she continues her journey. I don't think I need to tell you what Poison Study is all about. If you've been on my channel in the past month or so, you will know what Poison Study is about. We are running a whole read-along. I will put the information in the doobly-doo down below. We have the live show kind of planned. It will be in the first or second week of May. I think it's the 9th. I might be totally wrong, but it is, I think, in the first full week at least of May. And so you do still have time if you want to join us. You can read Poison Study. Like I say, all the information will be below. I will get the information for the live show soon, I promise. But yeah, so you've still got time to read Poison Study. Magic Study, the live show won't be until start of June. So plenty of time if you want to catch up with us. Next, we need to get back up here again to Lawful. This is the one that's going to take the longest, I think. So, first roll is a 6. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, oh, a double. Oh, you beauty. You absolute beauty. So I only took up 2 extra rolls because a double means I get to jump straight to the planet. And so we get up to our next planet, which is Lothal. And for that I chose the prompt Ezra, and that was to read a YA book, which it surprised me that when I looked at the prompts, I was like, immediately, yes, that is the one I'm going for, because I want to read The Love Match by Priyanka Taslim. This is a YA romance of a kind, and it is to do with arranged marriages and love matches within Southeast Asian culture, but in a YA setting. And I remember picking this up and it sounded very, very interesting, and I really, really want to read it, so on the TBR it goes. Okay, next should be a nice easy one to get to Mandalore. So roll 1 is a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll 2 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are there. And we are at Mandalore. And so our next planet is Mandalore, and for that I chose the Grogu prompt, which is to read a middle grade or a children's book, and for that I only have 1 on my TBR. And it is from my TBR, I'm not just rereading Percy Jackson. No, I do actually have 1 on my TBR. And so I'm reading Zachary Young and the Dragon Emperor by Ziren J. Zhao. And this is their children middle grade book. This is again a Chinese emperor retelling. That sentence came out in the wrong way around, but I know what I meant. This is their children's middle grade book, Iron Riddle being their adult book, and I'm very excited to read this. I have a mostly hate relationship with the middle grade, but I don't really like middle grade. I love Percy Jackson, obviously, and this has been lauded as being very much like Percy Jackson, and obviously I really love this author, and I really loved Iron Widow, and so there is no way I didn't want to read this. Worst comes to worst, I don't like this, it goes to the library, other children then can read this book. I always say other children like I am a child. That's not what I mean. I just mean that if this goes to the library, children can read this book. And yeah, I know what I mean. But other than that, I don't really know anything about this book. I just know that it's been seen as like Percy Jackson, but Chinese mythology. And it's written by an author that I think is fabulous. So, win-win. Okay, next we need to get to Exegol. Again, this should be a nice easy one. So, I've already used... That's already 10 rolls, guys. I might need to use 25. So, first roll is a 7. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, try not to wreck the place. 2 rolls to get there, and we're on Exegol. And then we got to Exegol, and for that I chose the prompt Ben Solo, a book with enemies to lovers. This one thank you Radiator for your input. For this one I could not for the life of me, I was looking at my spreadsheet rather than my actual books and could not remember what my books were about for the life of me. And so I just decided to pick up Beach Rivals. This has been on 2 TBRs. This is its 3rd time lucky. If I do not read this, I think I might unhaul it. Because I need to force myself to read this. Because I'm just going to keep putting it off. I don't know why. It even has a sticker that says for fans of Emily Henry. Why am I putting this off? I need to not put this off anymore. So it's going on the TBR. This is about two people who work at a bookshop on a beach or by a beach, and they don't like each other. Like, they really don't like each other. They are opposites. They drive each other nuts. They are forced to share a flat and work together. So it's forced proximity. Enemies to lovers. I picked this up because this just screams everything I love. Why have I not read this yet? It's absolute madness. And so on the TBR it goes. Okay, this next one is a long one. We need to get all the way down here to Naboo. So where are we? Roll 1. And that is a 9. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And roll 2. And that is an 8. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are we going? Naboo. 5, 6, 7, 8. And next roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing this if I use just 20 rolls, so I might have to up it. And then 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, I'm so close. And we're on Naboo. Yikes. And then we hop back over to Naboo, and for that I chose The Prompt to C-3PO, a translated book, and I was really excited about this because I got a book a while ago which was a blind date with a book, which is also a translated book, and that is The Country of Others by Leila Silmani. I have never read a translated book before that I'm aware of. I may have read a translated book and not been aware of it, but I have never consciously read a translated book before. And so when I found out this was translated, I was very excited. It's quite popular right now to read translated Japanese works. This is translated, I believe, from like French or German or another European language. I can't translate from French. Yeah, so this is translated from French. It is a Second World War. Yes, Second World War historical fiction, which obviously, this is why I chose it for Blind Date with a Book. It is a World War II historical fiction. But I got it from Topping, and it was, yeah, it sounds fantastic, and it is, I think, going to be a nice change for me, because I'm kind of, my interest in Second World War, retellings, Second World War historical fiction is waning a little bit, but having that twist of it being a translated work is flaring my interest with it. And I know, like, people are probably going to be sitting there going like, oh, well, it's only coming from French. But, like, I'm new to translated fiction, and it intimidates me. So having something that is close enough seems like something that would be, it gives me a little bit more confidence in it. Like, I speak and understand some French, like enough to get me by. So it's less intimidating. It's not in French. Like, I'm not reading it in the original French. It's translated to English from French. So, like, I don't have to read it in French. But, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm going to shut up now. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very happy that I'm able to actually, for the first time ever, pick up something that's translated. I'm very excited about it. Don't ruin it for me. I lie. I just looked over and saw Battle Royale. I have read a translated fiction. I've read Battle Royale. I totally forgot I'd read Battle Royale. I just looked over and saw Battle Royale sitting on my shelf staring at me like, can you see me? Do you see me? I see you. You see me, I see you. Anyway, but yeah, I'm still really excited to read this. Like, very excited to read this. So yeah, just leave me alone. Let me be happy and excited to read my book. So we need to get to a scarf now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets to get to, and apparently 3 rolls left to use. So yeah, I'm going to add those extra 5 rolls on. But no more than 5 rolls. I'm thinking I'm going to end up getting a punishment anyway. And I'm still going to try and read all the prompts because I've already chosen the books and I really want to read the books. I am covered in pen, guys. I'm covered in pen. So let's get on with... I don't know if I can use the extra... Like, because this only took me 2. Can I use this 3 extra? I don't know if I can use it. I'm not going to use it, so let's just start a fresh roll. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. You stay there. And 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, 1 away. 1 away. And it would be... Thank you for the double one. I didn't need it. Thanks. And that's my 20 rolls. I'm on Scarif. And then we got to Scarif. And this is where it starts to get hairy for my rolls. But for this, we got to Scarif and I picked the prompt for, I want to say Jin, J-Y-N, Jin. And that is one of the oldest books on your TBR, which fits in nicely with the prompt that Tori gave me for her 12 and 12. And that is also to read the oldest book on my TBR. So that just, again, like, Becca, your prompts are giving me life here. Like, you're just, thank you. Your prompts were, like, tailored perfectly to my reading this month. So that is giving me, like, real confidence for reading for me. It really, really is. But for that, I've chosen to read The Taxidermist's Daughter by Kate Moss. It is the only Kate Moss book that I have not read. The only one. And I do, and I don't know why. I don't know why, in the sense that I have had access to this for years. Obviously, this is the hardback copy. This came out in 2014. I've had access to this since 2014. This is technically not my book. I borrowed this from my granddad to read years ago, like, while I was in university. So it really is the oldest book on my TBR. I've still not read it. When I've been considering unhauling it, and by unhauling it, I mean I literally borrowed it from my granddad. It's not my book, technically. But he forgot that he's loaned it to me, so it technically is my book. Anyway, and let's face it, when my granddad dies, all his books are coming to me. Anyway, because nobody else is going to want his books. It's fine. His words, not mine. Yeah, so this is the oldest book on my TBR, but when I was looking into it today, it is a thriller. It is like a horror thriller. That's like, woo, those are not words. That's not, this is more likely to be like a Jem book than an Andy book. But Kate Moss is like my queen. She is one of my favourite authors of all time. Like, I've met her. This is one of the books that I didn't take to get signed because it was sitting on my TBR shelf instead of on my red shelf. Because I forgot that it was sitting on my TBR shelf. Didn't take it to get signed. She is one of my favourite authors of all time. I've met her, I've seen her talk, she's one of the nicest people. Honestly, she's so lovely, so kind, so considerate, so eloquent. I love her so much. So patient. She signed all of my books, and I have a lot of books, guys. I have a lot of her books. I have, like, a lot of her books. Anyway, so on that way, I want to read it. On the fact that it's a thriller horror, I don't want to read it. I also don't want to read about taxidermy. I don't like harm to animals in books. And I know taxidermy is not technically harm to animals, but, like, it's adjacent enough, okay? So yeah, this is oldest book on my TBR. This is potentially an unhauled, going back to my granddad, coming out of my shelves, you know? So, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I need to rip the band-aid off and just give it a try. Next, we need to get up to Mandalore. So, let's see, I've got my 5 extra rolls to go. So, we have 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that was lucky. So that is 2 rolls to get to Mandalore. Will it actually be nice to me? Not a chance. Not a chance. So here's where we go into my extra rolls. And we go to Mandalore. And for that, I've chosen the prompt. Again, I'm not going to be able to say it. Din Djarin? Din Djarin. Darjarin. I'm sorry, Becca. I don't know if you're banging your head against the wall or laughing at me right now. I hope it's the latter. I'm looking at this name and I can't say it. Anywho, that is to read a hardback book, and ASMR is a hardback book. I'm trying to make myself read a non-fiction every month, and so this will be my non-fiction this month. This is the T and LGBT by Jamie Rains. Jamie is a lovely YouTuber and he has written this book. It is everything you need to know about being trans. It is obviously a very short book, so everything is it's not quite everything, but like it has multiple stories from multiple trans people, including Jamie himself. Jamie is a trans man. He also posts on YouTube. I will link him below as well. Him and his wife Shaba post on YouTube all the time, and they are both lovely and gorgeous and just fabulous in every way. And I'm very, very excited to get to his book. The only reason I haven't gotten to it until now is just that my TBR is absolutely mental, and I've just been, you know what it's like, you get a book and you put it off and you put it off and you put it off, but now it's going to the top of the pile, so it's fine. But yes, so I'll be reading this as my hardback book. This is a non-fiction about trans people, and it has multiple stories and information from very many different trans people and their different varied experiences, because trans people are not a monolith. They are many very varied different people, and we deserve to hear, or they deserve to have their multiple different varied stories out in the world. Like, you can't just talk to one person and assume that everybody's journey is the same. So yeah, I hope that made sense. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. And I'm almost at the end of the video, I promise. I promise. This is where the rolls get bad. And I just know it's coming. I know it's coming because I've already filmed that bit. But, like, I'm having, like, flashbacks. Next planet is Coruscant. I still think I'm pronouncing that really, really badly. But yeah, we need to get down here and then we need to get to Scarif. So yeah, we need to get through like all this mess. It's not going to happen, but we can get to Coruscant and then Scarif's just not going to happen. So let's focus on Coruscant first. First roll, it's 5 and 3 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And next roll should get us there. Is it 9? Oh god, yeah, it'll get us there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was only 5. And that gets us to Coruscant. And then we did finally get to Coruscant. And for that, I chose Ahsoka, a book with a dual perspective. And for that, I chose Glass Houses by Melanie Murphy. Again, Melanie is a lovely YouTuber, and I will link her below as well. She does a lot of lifestyle type things. She did a lot of sex and well-being stuff. She had trained as a teacher. I don't believe she did traditional teaching, but she did a lot of online sex education stuff along with like sort of like Hannah Witten did. She is now a mum, does a lot of things about motherhood and breastfeeding and how to kind of be yourself while also being a mother, and finding yourself after being a mother and things like that. It's funny because I'm not a mother and don't plan to be a mother anytime soon, and yet I still love watching her videos. She does other things as well, but like these are some of the things that she does. Just to give you a general idea. She also does a lot of renovation videos with her husband because they bought a house and then like renovated it, and the work they've done, they did a lot of the work themselves, and wow, like dang, the work they've done, like could not be me. could not be me. I will live vicariously through Melanie. Thank you very much. But this is her second fiction novel. She does have a non-fiction as well, but this is her second fiction novel. I did read and love her first one, so I'm very excited to get to this. This follows two sisters and it does have dual POV with each of the sisters, and I'm very excited to get to this because, like I said, her first novel, If Only, I really enjoyed. Loved the twist that had with the magical realism element to it. So I don't think this is the same. I don't know. I will find out as I read it. So according to my calculations, we have one roll to get to Scarif. So either I need to make it all the way down here on one roll, which is not going to happen, or all the way down here. I mean, this is obviously the shorter route, on one roll. So unless I get a double, it's not going to happen. Do you think I'll get a double, guys? If I get a double, I'm going to lose my mind. But the dice have not been nice to us. So I'm going to have to do a punishment. I feel like I need to do a punishment anyway for jumping from 20 to 25 rolls. But yeah, let's just see what they're going to do anyway. Yeah, 7. There was no way I was going to get it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That only takes us to here. Anyway, so yeah, that nowhere near. Out of curiosity, I want to see how many it would have taken. So that's our 25 rolls. So how many would it have actually taken? 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, uh-oh. We're all falling apart now, guys. Okay. Oh, and now it gives me a double. Okay. So it would have taken, was that 3 extra rolls? 3 extra rolls to get us to Scarif. So I would have needed 3 rolls over my... 3 rolls over. So I did not get to Scarif there. But I got to the rest of the planets. I don't know how much you can hear with me going back and forward, so apologies. I just realised that the mic might not be picking me up there. But I will be doing obviously the cutaways, so I'll pick up on that one. But we did not bad. But the dice were not our friend. And oh well, I'm still going to read all the books, and it just means that I'm going to have to do a punishment Kindle read. But that's fine because, you know, I need to read my Kindle books. They're just sitting there doing nothing. And lastly, yes, we did not get to Scarif. And the dice mocked us by giving that double right at the end there. Yeah. Just mocked us. And by us I mean me, I'm turning into Gollum. Yeah, so that last one there, it mocked me. Why do I keep saying us? The dice were mocking me, basically. I feel like the dice were mocking me. There was no chance I was getting Scarif, even with the stretched goal, or the stretched dice rolls. But I did pick a book and a prompt for Scarif. The prompt I was going to use for, or I will be using for that anyway, is a book, or the prompt is Scarif, a book on your a book on your self-destruct, or one you want to unhaul, and that is Cunning Woman by Elizabeth Lee. I've been putting this book off for so long, and maybe the dice weren't mocking me. Maybe the dice were trying to tell me something that I shouldn't do. I should just not read this book. Maybe that's what the dice were trying to tell me, that you just need to go. I don't know, maybe the book were just telling me you need to go. So I'm still going to read this book. It's still going on my TBR. But this is a book that is... This was bought on a whim during COVID. I don't think I'm going to like this. This is when I had the idea in my head that I liked witchy books. I don't like witchy books. Like, yeah, I like witchy books, but I don't like witchy books, if that makes sense. For some reason, I've not been enjoying these sort of books, but I'm going to try it. But yeah, so this is going to be put on my TBR to try and potentially unhaul. So if nothing else, it's you know, might just come off my TBR because it's going to get unhauled. So potentially the dice were just trying to tell me something. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So according to my collections that I have on, because I have all of my things organised into collections so that I know which ones I've owned, which ones I own, which ones are KU, which ones I have read, but my KU one's now redundant because I don't have KU. So I currently own 64 Kindle books or 64 Kindle things that I have not read. Most of these I've gotten on Stuff Your Kindle days. And so what I'm going to do is, part of my punishment, my lightsaber, basically, is going to be to get to choose a number between 1 and 64. And whichever number that correlates to on this is the book that I'm going to read. So, here we go. Alexa, choose a number between 1 and 64.
Here's a number between 1 and 64. It's 18.
18. So, this is The Farthest Star, which is by Sally Glover. It is a Grumpy Sunshine Small Town Romance. It is the Wildflower Romance Book 1. This will have been one that I got on one of the Kindle Stuff Your Kindle days because I know nothing about it. It is about a place called Orcas Island, which apparently is a real place in the Pacific Northwest. I can see why I chose this one, like to get on the Stuff Your Kindle day. So it is about a small island in the Pacific Northwest of America. It is a Grumpy Sunshine. Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm not mad at that. But it gets a nice Kindle, it gets a Kindle book off of my Kindle TBR. So yeah, I'm not mad. I am not mad at that at all. Not mad at that at all. Apparently the characters are called Domino and Forest. Domino and Forest. Okay. We'll take that. We will take that. That's fine. Not mad at that at all. Not mad. That's not bad for a punishment. To be fair, there's not really any books on there that I have that I'm like too mad about, but it's not reading a book off my physical TBR and reading a book that's on my Kindle. I've been putting off reading my Kindle books, so that's the punishment side of it. Well, that is me, and that is all of the books that are currently on my TBR. I'm sure I will probably end up having more on my wrap-up, seeing as that is only now 11 books on my TBR. Hopefully I will read a little bit more. If not, it's fine. It is absolutely fine. But I am trying to get that TBR down. So let's just hope and pray for me that I will get this TBR further down. Let me know if you're joining in on either May the TBR read with you or I've forgotten what it's called now. So let me know if you're joining in the May the TBR be with you readathon or the May the Force read with you readathon. I honestly, these are mouthfuls to say. It's given, and I thought Alexander Gabriel Claremont Diaz was a mouthful. Sorry, I've been thinking about Red One Rebel all day because I saw a TikTok. Anywho, yeah, let me know if you're joining in on either of the readathons. Let me know if you're joining in with us to read the Chronicles of Ixia. Let me know if you have read any of the books I am reading, or if you have anything you want to say down below in the comments. If you want to let me know that you were here and you don't want to sit and type out a comment, leave me, is there a planet emoji? Leave me a planet emoji down there, or a space related emoji for the May the TBR be with you readathon or the May the Force be with you readathon. My god, those are mouthfuls. Guys, you need to choose snappy readathon names. Like this, I can't be saying this all the time. Anywho, happy Star Wars readathon months to come, and may the readathons be with you. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.